today again at the Royal Military Museum in Brussels. Today we have a slightly different special episode because we will not be talking about vehicles this time. Me and Ben, we work for this museum, and this museum has a lot of objects, more than 140,000 in total, ranging from big vehicles such as aircraft and tanks until uniforms, documents, all kinds of sizes and themes actually. And a lot of these objects, they found their way to the museum actually by being donated to us. So it's very interesting. People often come to us with specific objects with a nice story behind them, and they donate them to the museum. So a large part of our collection is built up like that.
Since 1923.
Yeah, so over 100 years old museum, a lot of objects, some with very interesting stories behind them. The objects here in front of us today, most of them, they're actually mine. So I've always been interested in World War II history, even when I was a teenager, and at a certain moment in my life, a friend of mine gave some collection items of his that he found at antique fairs, I think he bought them there, to me. They remained at my parents' place, and of course during the winter break you go to your parents' place, you clean up a little bit, and I refound actually these pieces related to Nazism and the Third Reich. However, I am not a collector of any sort, so I have no use of them. I don't want them in my house actually, and I also feel morally a bit twisted about selling them. So I wish to donate them to the museum as well where I work, because for me that's the one place where these items belong, in the museum, to be conserved as important pieces of history. However, these items, we are not sure if they're authentic or not, and that's why we're making this video today, to have a look at them, to analyze them, and to see if they're real pieces of history or fakes. As I said, a lot of these pieces are related to Nazism and the Third Reich, and for some reason this period of time has always attracted collectors and
militaria enthusiasts.
Indeed, and I assume there are several reasons behind that. Some just like the style of these objects. Maybe it's also because after the war, of course, you had a lot of American and British material, but the German equipment, it was destroyed or repurposed.
Yes,
so that's just
the rarity.
So there's just not much left of them, especially items related to the SS. Mm-hmm. Because when you were in the SS and the war ended, of course, the first thing that you want to do is get rid of those items to not be shot on sight, actually. So that also makes them more attractive on the collector's market
and also valuables.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Also, I think in many countries, not sure if possession or having these items in public is not...
it's not legal.
Illegal.
In Germany, in France also, and you cannot show SS objects in Belgium too. It's forbidden. Mm-hmm. So in many places, it's not allowed to have those kind of stuff.
And we all know that when you're told to not do something, that of course becomes more attracting to do. So that's also maybe part of the reason. But the attraction of these objects is also the reason that during the years, even before the digital period, many fakes are made, because they're of course very valuable, of course. So during those years, many fakes have been made
with various level of quality.
Mm-hmm. Some easy to spot, some very difficult to spot, as we will see today. But I hope you'll find this special episode very interesting. Before we start, a few disclaimers to be made. Ben and I, we are historians working here for the museums. We are not collectors, we are not restaurators, and we are also not, you a little bit, specialized in these kind of objects. We have done some research into them for making this video, of course. But we highly suggest that if you do not agree with us, with the things we say, you have some remarks, or if you have another specialized opinion on them, please feel free to comment, so we can also learn more about them. Because as we said, we are not specialists in this material. Another disclaimer, although some of these items may be fake, that does not mean that they have no value actually, because they can be valuable in different ways. Items like this, they can also be used for educational purpose, such as this video, for example, or for reenactment, or for dressing up mannequins and dioramas. Many reasons.
Cinema and so on.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So they have also their certain values. A third disclaimer, This video is meant as an informative and educational format. So we, of course, we do not we distance ourselves from any political views attached to these items. We purely do this from a historical perspective. And although these items, they were my own, I am giving them away to the museum where they belong, because I don't want items with a political connection like this in my house. Just so to make that clear. And these items, they belong in the museum because they have also an interesting history related to Belgium, to the occupation, and that's why we feel that they belong here. So, Ben, let's get started. Where shall we begin? Maybe some of the medallions that are being donated by me. So first, I believe the name is an Allgemeine Sturmabzeichen.
Indeed.
So what I read was that this it was called as a badge, a pin.
It's a badge. You pin it on your uniform.
Yeah, and you were giving this for participating in a certain amount of
attacks.
Yes.
And here we have an example with the 25 attacks listed on the badge. So you have different kinds of badges like that for one attack. 25, 50 and so on.
Okay.
So here we have the 25 attacks badge.
Alright. I'm not an expert on the material, so this looks quite polished and clean to me, which might be an indication. But what I did find was that normally these badges have a small indication of the manufacturer over here, and that's missing over here. So
what is interesting is also the pin here, which is, I've seen worse. Sometimes it's really modern pins. Here it's quite done like the original ones.
So not quite original, but a bit more.
It's a roughly made pin, so
refined.
It's not the best copy you will see.
Okay.
So it's something you can use for reenactment. But it's not really great copy.
Okay.
Another example is the cross, the German cross here. It's not regular, you can see.
Oh yeah, I see.
And on the period time crosses, it is way better produced.
Yeah, indeed it looks a bit clumsy now that I look at it. Some of the stars are less white. Okay. So
you can also check all the parts of the eagle. If you see an original one, you can count the number of
the feathers.
The feathers, yes,
okay.
Indeed, and you will see if the feathers are correct or not. It's also a good indication on the originality or not of the badge.
Okay. So, fake. What we have done, maybe start with this one, the Kriegsverdienstekreuz, or
Indeed.
the War Merit Cross in English. So we had different classes of these, and also with or without the swords that you had them. But if I understood correctly, these are given for an exceptional prestation during the war. And this can be both for civilians
and for militaries. But you have one version without the swords and one version with the swords. And for those, you also have three kinds of decoration. The first one in zinc, and the other one...
Zinc, not sure what the English term is. Zinc, I think.
And the other one in bronze, and the last one in silver.
All right. So material-wise, it seems okay.
Indeed, it's
I don't see any
pure
irregularities.
zinc.
It does not have a manufacturing stamp on the little ring, which you often have with a number which refers to a specific manufacturer. It has on one side the swastika, and the 1939 when this medal was, when they started giving out these medals. The swords mean that it was for a military prestation. The little ribbon also seems correct to me. The stitching I've read is also World War II period.
As you can see, there is a safety pin here, which is not period safety pin, because it's not the system of the attache. So this part of the ribbon is not original, the safety pin, but the ribbon looks correct. So here you can also check with another method to see if it's a fake or not. It's with the UV light.
Okay.
So you use a UV lamp, and then you put the UV lamp on the ribbon, and here you can see that it does not glow. For instance, I have a modern patch here, and if you put the lamp on the modern patch, you see that the patch glow because it's made with synthetic materials, which is not the case of those ribbon here.
Okay. That's a good way of spotting it indeed. But the problem with these small medallions is also there are actually three parts here. You have the medallion, the ribbon, the small ring.
The ring, indeed.
So these are easily interchangeable, and during the times they get switched out.
And you also have to keep in mind that it is possible that after the war they used different parts to make only one decoration for it.
Yeah.
For instance, they will use one ribbon, one ring and one medal and put it together to make a special decoration.
Okay. And I've even read that these medallions, they're even commissioned back after the war without a swastika for Bundeswehr members.
Yeah,
as well.
in 1957 indeed.
Okay.
And it's the case for the other medal, which does not have the good ribbon with the medal. So here it's a pure composition. So somebody took the ribbon and put it on the medal, but it's not the good medal with the good ribbon.
So this medal, it is the Kriegsverdienstemedaille. So it's actually the civilian variant of this one, given to civilians who in some way helped the war effort, for example by producing more than the normal quota would be.
But it's also another variant because you have the round plate and you also have the variant with the cross without the sword.
So the medallion seems okay, but as you said, the ribbon...
It's not the ribbon of this medal. It's the ribbon of the cold meat medal. Yeah. So it was given...
The Ostfrontmedaille.
Ostfrontmedaille, indeed. Given at the German soldiers just after the cold winter of 1941 to 1942.
On the Eastern Front.
On the Eastern Front, indeed.
So these seem genuine, although the composition is not okay. But also for these medallions, they're not that rare, I'd say. I have the numbers over here. I believe that for the cross, 6 million with swords and 1.6 million without swords. And for this one, an estimated 4.9 million made. So it's not that rare to encounter a
It's
genuine
not
medallion
rare,
like
and
this.
indeed you can see it on the value of the object.
Okay.
It will not exceed more than between 50 euro to 100 euro maximum if you have an exemplar which is rarer than another one.
All right, something different.
Russian.
The Russian
Soviet
medallion with the face of Stalin on front.
It is also a medal which was really produced in many exemplars, so it's not rare. There is also many types of this medal with some sort of attach and so on. So here we will see which one it is, and we'll see if it's a genuine World War II or post-World War II.
Okay. Because that was a bit confusing with this one. When you look up pictures of the medallion, they often have a different kind of suspension on the back of the ribbon.
Indeed.
And at first we thought this is probably a fake.
I'm not. I don't like those kind of safety pin because they're almost always post-war. It's a different kind of suspender, but you seem to have another explanation.
Not me, but online. When I went on forums and I asked advice on this piece, and they actually told me that it is a more rare Type 2 variant 1 suspension, which is actually older than most of the other medallions produced. So if you're an expert in this kind of items, please let us know. Help us out, determine how we can figure out if it's a real one or not. But just for medallion, I'll have
I think
another
it's
look at
something
it.
which was placed after
Yeah.
the medal, but
So we have Stalin on here. A medallion was given to all Russian Red Army service members, combatants, but also nurses and other functions.
the Great Patriotic War.
Yeah. So the text says, "Our cause is righteous, we are victorious." And on the back it says, "For victory over Germany in the Great Patriotic War of 1941-1945." When a small star also over there. So please help us out, determine more about this specific piece. We also have a few other medallions. They are not mine, but they are of the museum itself, but they are kept in a little box of miscellaneous items about which we do not know if they are real or not. So let's have a look. At first, we have this small, you probably would call it a pin, I assume, to
Yes,
badge
it's
it
a
on
pin
your
to
clothes.
badge it on the coat, but
It is actually from the SA, so the paramilitary organization with which the Nazis started. And the correct name is the SA 1932 Gau München badge. So it was given to members of the SA in the year 1932. And there's, of course, there's a big swastika with a circle surrounding it with oak leaves. And draping these oak leaves is a banner which actually says, "Und ihr habt doch gesiegt," refers to 1923, the failed Bierhalle Putsch attempt.
Indeed.
So that's the symbolism behind it. And it was kind of a membership badge. But for this one, of course, it's probably easy to reproduce something small like this, but
yes, but because sometimes just after the war they kept the cast machines,
to
so
reproduce
they
again.
could easily reproduce all those medals and metal stuffs.
All the symbolism seems correct, all the displayed items. However, the little piece for attaching the medallion, it has been very crudely restored.
Welded
A bit
with
butched up.
another kind of metal, and
Yeah.
also the pin is not those kind you can see from that period.
Okay. However, it does have the original manufacturing stamp still on it. But of course, a piece can be correct, another piece can be
Indeed.
not from the right time. So then we have an SS medallion with the runic SS symbols, a blue ribbon, and on the back it says "Voor Dienstjahre 4." So these were given out when you're a member of the SS for 4 years.
4 years, yeah.
It's a difficult one. It seems a bit too new, just from a gut feeling, I
it's
would
too
say.
modern. The quality of the metal is not good, and also you have some
Irregularities,
barbed,
indeed.
Yeah, parts.
And also when you look closely, the medallion seems to be made by putting two parts together. So that's a bit weird, actually.
It's the case, but normally you don't have this line here. You can see it's better made, and also here you can see that the metal has gone
Oh yeah.
inside the two parts for the cast. So it's also something that would have been erased, which is not the case here. And also the color of the metal is not something really, let's say, beautiful.
And for last factor, apparently, normally the small ring to attach the medallion to the ribbon, it would be in the form of a drip and not a circle like this.
Indeed, yes.
So
And also, as I have said earlier, it's not the kind of suspension you will see on a wartime medal.
okay. Then we have a nice little set of 3 medallions. So these were actually a reward for being a member of the NSDAP. And these were given out to loyal members, first after 10 years of service, after 15 years of service, and after 25 years of service. And what is actually very interesting about these ones, so the Nazi Party, it existed from 1920 until 1945. So how can someone have this medallion only at the
last one.
final year of the war?
Indeed.
Actually, so the Nazis they counted on a different way. So between 1925 and 1933, that was a period of time that Hitler called the Kampfzeit, the time of struggle. And when you were a member of the NSDAP between those years actually counted double. So you got this medallion earlier than 25 years by if you were in that period a member. So these ones, they look nice, but you should have a feel of them. They feel very light.
Light indeed.
And also you can see some discoloration.
It's not really good
They don't
made.
seem like they were made by any precious
If you look
metals.
at the beak of the eagle, it's not. It's also not really good
Oh,
made.
yeah.
And we can check with the UV light also. Okay, the ribbon does not really glow, but it does not mean that.
Of course, the ribbon can be older.
Yeah, or made with material without synthetic pieces.
And also, when looking at pictures of these online, they're actually also the wrong ribbons.
Indeed,
So that's
yeah.
also a clear indication. And they seem too new to me. But if you're an expert in these, let us know.
So you can see it's very shiny.
Specific elements.
It's a very shiny metal. So
Indeed.
normally it's more. There is more patina on those metals.
They just feel so light.
Yeah.
They just feel like fakes.
And if you compare it to even the other one, the difference is really strong.
Alright. So for now, let's also label these as fakes. They can go back in the miscellaneous box. And who knows, maybe someone has some more information about these on how to learn more about them. So that was that for the
Yeah, because
medallions.
what also interesting is when were they produced, where, by whom. So it's all that kind of questions interesting for a museum, because we can spot the fake makers and
Yeah,
so
of
on.
course.
So for a museum it's very important to have those kind of information, and to, if we find another medal, we can say, oh yeah, it's a fake done by somebody or somewhere.
Yeah, if you want to keep a reference collection, we do have to have items to refer to. So good point over there, indeed. So what also do we have on the table? Stamps. Stamps with the head of Adolf Hitler. So we have a whole lot of them with different, values,
yeah,
I'd
for
say.
the
Most of
stamps.
them are for the Deutsches Reich, so to be used in Germany, I think. And these four over here, Großdeutsches Reich, so for the larger German empires, also the occupied territories. When researching these, I was told actually that these are probably not fake, because there are simply not a lot of fakes around, because they don't have a lot of value. They were produced so much during the war, there was
Indeed.
overproduction, that there's no really any need for producing fakes, because there's still so many around the market still. And what is also interesting about these, that Adolf Hitler, he actually got paid royalties for putting his head on these stamps. And so a large part of his wealth before World War II was actually from people buying these stamps. So when you're a loyal citizen of Germany, you buy a lot of stamps, and Hitler got rich. So also interesting.
You can also check the quality of the impression, so you can clearly see that it's not a laser impression. The material of the paper. So it's the feeling when you touch the material that you can see, oh yes, it's an old production or it's a modern production. And here we can clearly see that it's an old production.
Okay.
But as usual, we have to be very careful with all those stamps and materials, because many people try to fake them. Here we can see that the stamps are not the things that were really faked or faked on a big scale. So it's not really important, but all the German stuffs, all the Nazi stuffs from the Second World War have been copied once in history.
So our next item, we have a small postcard of the Reichsparteitag in Nuremberg from 2 till 11 September 1939. Funny because this was a celebration of peace, which was being organized, for which you could buy this card. But this one, I believe, was actually cancelled because what happened on the 1st of September in 1939? Germany invaded Poland, so not much use for a day for the peace. Personally, I have no idea. Of course, a piece of paper is easily reproduced. It does have this luxury paper feeling, but what do you think, Ben?
I have some doubts because if you look closely at the images on the card, you will see it's like if it was printed by a modern printer.
Yeah.
So it's not a full layer of painting. Paint, yes. But it's like if it was
with pixels, you can see a bit.
Pixels, yeah. If you look closely,
the images are pixelized.
It's well made, but there are some things that are not.
They are giving you doubts.
That are a little suspicious, indeed.
Okay.
Here, if you look closely at the H. Yeah, we have to check closely to. Oh, here also, you see?
Yeah, indeed. So a doubtful case. If there are any experts in paper objects or specific to this theme, let us know. Because this one is hard to determine.
Of course, I'm not specialist in paper, but I have some doubts, clearly.
Another interesting small little book. This was actually printed in Belgium after we got rid of the German occupation, and it contains some small rhymes, stories about Hitler and about us being happy to get rid of him.
First of all, you can clearly see that the paper is old on this little book, which is not the case.
There's a clear difference indeed.
And the white also is really white, while with the time it would have been more yellow than white.
So for example, the meaning of the name Hitler: H, ruler and conqueror; I, international murderer; T, terror and executioner of this time; L, weak man who seduces his people; E, a Lendeling, annoying man who does not spare any man; and the R for predator, why don't you die? So personally, I don't think that this is so specific for being in the Flemish part of Belgium during the war.
Indeed, yes.
That it's very unlikely for me that a reproduction of
you can clearly see the quality of the color is the blue color. It's there is no depth on it, and also the difference between this color and this color means that it has been
faded
stored
over time.
And it has faded more on that part than on that part. So it's a classic faded part, like you will see on other examples of books of that period.
Okay, interesting. So this one is probably
this one is
my favorite of the bunch. So here we have a small booklet. I guess it's meant to be as an identification document for an art member of the SS. But the thing is,
specifically of one unit.
Yeah, but this document is purely fictional.
Indeed.
So when we look at it, SS Division Totenkopf.
Yeah, but if you look closely, it's not the SS Division Totenkopf. It's Panzergrenadier SS Division. So here, normally it's the SS Panzergrenadier Division, but it's not Panzergrenadier SS Division. So
Okay.
it's the first indication. And it depends also on the time, because the Totenkopf Division was not all the time Panzergrenadier Division.
Okay. So we see a lot of images, very stylized. We have the eagle, we have the SS skull.
And it's also a Wehrmacht eagle, so it's not
the
really
correct eagle.
SS.
We have stamps, a lot of
Yeah,
stamps.
and on the stamps, I think it's the Kriegsmarine eagle.
Even a
indeed.
different one.
The beak of the eagle is not on the good direction, so you can also see that the SS skull is not like an original SS skull, so many indication, and there are way too many stamps. And
it's like it's meant to be to look genuine.
more SS you have, the more value you will have, but it's not the case here. It's a purely fantasistic thing.
Some other elements why this is fake. We have der Familienname, so family name, and it says a rank, so incorrect. And also the rank SS Panzersoldat.
Yeah,
it's also fictional, I believe.
Fictional, indeed.
What else? We have all these stylized elements everywhere, which normally would not be the case on a normal formal document, of course. Another interesting thing, Blutgruppe, so blood type, it says A+, but apparently the Germans, they didn't note the plus, so the rhesus factor, so that's also fake. Also, just in the language of this document, normally nouns are written with a capital letter, like here, die Nummer der Abteilung, but here, on top of it, die Nummer, it's without a capital letter, so spelling mistakes in a formal document. And someone online also told me that, by the way, a lot of this stuff is written on the document. How we wrote some of the letters, it's indicative of that the person that wrote this document probably is has Cyrillic language as a first primary language. So it's also an indication of it probably being forged.
And also, if you look closely, you will see the difference in the color where the letters are written. So it's also something not normal.
Last but not least, the person on this picture, it is not Karl Neitzler, but it is actually Karl-Heinz Boska, an SS soldier, but not the correct one. And what we also have to keep in mind, the guy on the picture, he is not the rank of a soldier, like the Panzersoldat mentioned, but he has the insignia of a second lieutenant. So
indeed,
everything is not correct. Someone online suggested that if I would make a cut in this document, I would probably find Warsaw newspaper inside there. So an interesting piece of history of how the memory of a certain regime gets commercialized and how attractive fakes can be and collecting these things can be, but purely fake.
Purely fake, indeed. It was the easiest
easiest of the bunch,
spot,
indeed. Then a last document. This one is a bit fragile. It's made of newspaper paper, and this is actually a small brochure in Dutch language for propaganda purposes, distributed in Dutch, maybe Flemish or Netherlands regions, to just make propaganda, to advertise for the Nazi regime, Adolf Hitler, his life, his work. And on the pages we can see quotes of Adolf Hitler, famous pictures.
Isn't that statement?
Indeed. The life of Adolf Hitler, small stories about him. Also the program of the NSDAP. A bit further, I believe. Here, the different program points of the NSDAP. And just a lot of images, a lot of text to make propaganda for the regime, to make sure that people join the SS, people join the NSDAP, to join the occupier, actually. So, not sure if a document like this would even be replicated but it is clearly very old, very fragile. You can also see on the back that it has been kept with a document on top of it for a very long time.
Indeed, yes.
Causing the discoloration. It has been patched up a little bit with tape. So for me, there's no reason to assume that
No,
this is not an
it's a good one.
original document. What it's worth, I wouldn't know. It's very specific to the region that where we live. So
It is a little bit. You see the tape here.
yeah,
The
small
restoration could
reparations.
have been made better,
yeah.
but yeah, it's so.
But I assume also that documents from paper like this, they don't stand they don't stand the time very well unless
No.
kept in a very secure environment, which
And
was not the case for this one, unfortunately.
It's not the thing that you will see that
Being
have
looked
been
for.
the most copied, looked for. People are more interested in decorations,
Yeah.
badges, and so on, more than paper. So paper has been less copied. Paper, newspaper or magazines, and so on. I will not
Okay.
talk about those kind of stuffs which have been really copied, but those kinds of newspaper or magazines are most of the time original ones.
Yeah. Okay. So
Another thing to
yeah, go
show
ahead.
is the
yes, you also bought some badges.
we will do the test so you can see clearly the difference between an original patch and a copy. So I will use the UV lamp, and here we have two American badges from the Second World War. So the first one is US Air Force badge, and this one is the 9th Infantry Division badge.
And you think these are original?
Those are original indeed. So we will look with the lamp, and you can see it does not glow on the lamp. Sometimes it can glow if the patch has been washed with a modern
The detergent or washing.
detergent, with
means.
a detergent and so on. Here it's not the case, they do not glow. And if we look at this one, it glows a little bit, but it's not really that much. But this one clearly glows in the dark. So if you look at the airplane, you see that it's really glowing in comparison with those two others. So the UV lamp is a good indication on the originality of the badges you will have. It's mainly used with the tissues and not with paper or plastic. Plastic does not exist in wartime period. It was mainly
Different materials.
bakelit and so on.
Okay.
And why it does not glow? It's because it's made with this one is made with the synthetic material, so it's nylon, and those are made with cotton, so it does not glow.
So we hope you found this video as interesting as usual. Again, we are just two impulsive historians. We are not experts in this material, so if anything we told was incorrect, please feel free to comment or suggest other ways to analyze these historical artifacts. And yeah, that's it. See you next time.
Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.
And like,
And
comment.
Thank you.
Bye.
You can also use the UV lamp to see if your watch is radioactive, which is clearly the case of mine.